Would you trust him? Today I'm making one of the most controversial silver portraits I've ever done, Tony Blair. More than 20 years after Iraq, one question still refuses to disappear. Were we told the truth?
You would say, look me in the eye and tell me that you did not mislead the nation in invading Iraq.
Now that was just one of the many sound bites I've found when I've been doing research for this video. And I'll be straight and upfront with you. If you are a Tony Blair fan, probably not the video for you. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to show you the making. And it's quite ironic when I was doing the research, some of the sound bites that I've seen. When you think about it, him and Alistair Campbell were the gold medalists of sound bites, and some of these just unbelievable.
Chilcot report Blair didn't tell the truth about WMDs. You're kidding.
So that last clip, that was Jimmy Dore, funny guy from America. And there we go. As you can see, I'm getting straight into it. That's the 3D print that I did, a 4-piece panel. And I went for probably, I want to say the most, what's the right word, unglamorous, or yeah, unglamorous. I wanted to go for the worst portrait I could find, because I'll be honest, I'm not a great fan of Tony Blair, as you've probably already discovered from the video title and what's gone on before. And he's the photo I've actually chosen to do this one. He's sitting at the World Economic Forum, spouting off again about something. And I'll be honest, as soon as I seen the logo World Economic Forum, that puts my back up, because I'd probably say 90% of the people. There we go. I'd say 90% of the people that I see talking there, they just annoy me. Get the bangs out the way. And as I touched on earlier, it's not just Tony Blair, it was Alistair Campbell. I think he has a lot to answer for as well. Between them, they started, you know, it's always been there, but they really emphasise the old spin culture and spinning stuff and changing bits and pieces. And it's like the sound, but like this next soundbite here. Check this out.
What we have to bear in mind is that the intelligence reports were coming back, which was sporadic, patchy, untried, untested, and by the time Tony Blair and Alistair Campbell had finished with it, he changed it from ifs, buts and maybes to definites up and running now.
So that little soundbite there was saying how he twisted things and changed it for his own narrative. And the Chilcot report, which was a report that looked into all the Iraq war and why we went to war, pretty much said the same thing. In fact, Chilcot, in one of his discussions, said the cabinet, that they were all having a discussion about it, and only a couple of people in the cabinet even questioned him about it. I think it was Claire Short and Robin Cook, I think it was. They were the only two, I think, out of the whole cabinet who actually asked, have we got any evidence for weapons of mass destruction? Can you show us some evidence? And apparently, according to the inquiry, Blair was like, yeah, I'll show you the evidence, I'll get it. But he never showed them anything. He never showed them any evidence whatsoever. And I think that's the whole thing and his legacy, which it's so unfortunate, because let's be honest, he did do some good stuff as well. You know, I mean, it's a prime minister. It's the worst job in the world, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But I mean, some of his, I can put it, his highlight reel. I mean, he introduced the minimum wage, the national minimum wage, which has got to be a good thing. He really put money into schools and education. He sorted out Scotland and Wales. He made their own parliaments and an assembly. So that's a major shift, letting people make decisions closer. But I mean, basically, he's letting the people make the decisions who they affect there. So I think that was really cool. Whatever you think of Tony Blair, I mean, his highlight reel, it's not small. He done peace in Northern Ireland, minimum wage, shorter NHS waiting times, investment in schools. He devolved the power in Scotland and Wales. So he did do some really cool stuff. But it's this Iraq war one that's always going to be his Achilles heel. I mean, and obviously you've also got, apparently, him and Bush just made an agreement, and Tony Blair said to Bush, I'll support you, whatever. And you can't really be doing that, can you?
The deal with Bush, or the warnings of fallout? Really, he didn't tell the truth about any of that stuff? You're kidding.
I mean, Tony Blair basically wanted to remove Saddam Hussein, and for me personally, I think, yeah, that was the right decision. But there's ways of doing things. There's more than one way to skin a cat, isn't there? And I think lying or misholding the truth or bending the truth to get that and just to support America was a wrong thing to do. And we got to think many people lost their lives. And one of the sound bites that I found was this poor lady, which I'll show you now. And she lost her brother during the war, and she's just furious, absolutely furious, and you can understand why.
And there is one terrorist in this world that the world needs to be aware of, and his name's Tony Blair, the world's worst terrorist.
And of course, it's such a difficult job. I would never want to be in that situation that he was. But I think we've got to remember, these people we put on pedestal, these politicians, they're just people. They're just normal human beings. They make mistakes. And I think they've got to take responsibility when they make that mistake. And I think Blair and Alistair Campbell, they still haven't, regardless of all the inquiries and what's gone on.
I've come back here to Sedgefield, to my constituency, where my political journey began and where it's fitting that it should end. Today I announce my decision to stand down from the leadership of the Labour Party. The party will now select a new leader. On the 27th of June, I will tender my resignation from the office of Prime Minister to the Queen. I've been Prime Minister of this country for just over 10 years. In this job, in the world of today, I think that's long enough for me, but more especially for the country. And sometimes the only way you conquer the pull of power is to set it down.